Hello, everyone, Mission Pro family. Happy Thursday. Welcome to On a Mission. As you know, I'm Emily May, and we are getting ready for Crazy Train this weekend, and we're getting pumped. Everyone's talking about it on social media. So again, if you are not on this crazy train, go get tickets at missionprowrestling.net. Stream it on Title Match Network. It is going to be incredible. So many people have been talking about it on our social media. And if you're not following us, go to Mission Pro Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can even subscribe to us here on YouTube and hit that notification button for all that content when we go live. When we go live for On a Mission, when we have even more content coming out. We have some awesome people in the chat. We have Front Row. We have Nation's Corner. Thank you all for coming on and watching us on a Thursday. It was a jam-packed week, so we had to fit in 2 On a Mission episodes because we have a very special guest tonight. We have Sierra, who is going to be our special guest tonight, and this weekend she is going to be making her Mission Pro debut, her Texas debut, and is going against someone that we spoke to on Tuesday, Davienne. And we're going to talk about her background, get to know her a little bit. And again, it's an interactive conversation, so we want everyone to ask questions. We want everyone to let you know if you've seen a match of hers once she comes on. We want to welcome her into the Mission Pro family. So I'm going to rely on you all out there to help do that when we welcome Sierra in a few minutes. Before we do that, I wanted to also give an amazing thank you and shout out to our amazing, fantastic sponsors that have been there and have helped Mission Pro along the way. They've supported us and they're helping Crazy Train happen. Thunder Rosa is in the chat, giving a shout out to Nation's Corner, one of our amazing sponsors. Some of our other sponsors, Kayfabe Coffee. If you go to kayfabecoffee.com, you can enjoy some delicious, get your coffee beans, get your mugs, get your travel cups, because Mission Pro is going to be putting on some amazing shows, potentially going on the road. So you need to bring your Kayfabe coffee with you. We also have Southern Star Brewery, who is our host for our Conroe shows and will be hosting us this weekend on Saturday. Title Match Network is our incredible streaming partner, and they help bring Mission Pro shows to you in your living rooms. So if you have not subscribed to them and have not caught up on Mission Pro shows, go and do that, because that is where you are going to see all of the action from this weekend. The first show Mission Pro is putting on in 2022, and I'm excited. Melanie is getting ready. The whole team is getting ready. We have people are training. It is really getting exciting. There's lots of online feuds happening too. There's a lot of heat coming. If you've seen Holodead's put stuff out, we had a message from Jasmine. If you all have not seen that, La Rosa Negra put out a message today. There's a lot of talk. So if you all have not seen that, you need to go and go check it out. Back to our sponsors, we have Mass Movement, has incredible clothing. If you can go check them out. Face for Wrestling is not only a show sponsor, but an individual sponsor for the Renegade Twins, always supporting our tag team champions. We have Queen's Takeover Podcast, Nation's Corner, as I mentioned before. We have Josh Thompson. We have Jack Soaps. Jack Scopes is our ring skirt sponsor. And we have so many incredible sponsors. I'm going to name a few in a little bit that have supported Mission Pro. And we can't do what we're going to do this weekend without you and what we're going to continue to do in 2022. Hello, everyone. We have Steven. We have Mark's in New Mexico. Mongrovian Mike is here. R.A. Davis, and again, Nation's Corner is here. Thank you all for joining in the chat. We love, and Thunder Rosa. Hi. So also, speaking of sponsors, if you're interested, if you love what Mission Pro does, if you want to support our mission, if you want to support what we do and support the women that are helping make this happen, you can email missionprowrestling@gmail.com, and we have our sponsorships are open for the next show on March 5th. So you can go ahead and sign up today. So go and you can email, or you can even book out the rest of the year. We have a slew of shows that we have for 2022. So you can already just get that out of the way. Get that out of the way and not worry. Yes, Montgomery and Mike, I can't wait to see the sponsor turnbuckles, especially Nation's Corner. Yes, we are so excited to debut our new turnbuckles with our sponsors on them. We're so excited. The whole team is waiting anxiously to see that happen. We're just so excited. So if you guys haven't, get your tickets. You can email about sponsorships, and also, tickets are going to go on sale right away for, that March show. So remember, get your VIP tickets once they go on sale, because they sell out really, really quickly. So you want to make sure that you get them so you can get all of the fun perks. You get a special photo op with the roster and the team. You get a cool poster signed by the talent. And you get a bunch of other things, and it's really amazing, and it is so worth it. A lot of our sponsors have done that, and a lot of our MPW family have done that, and it's such a wonderful, fun thing to do. Nation's Corner is taking over. I love it. But what I also love is I love talking to the talent and the amazing wrestlers that come to Mission Pro. And I can't wait to talk to this young lady, because she's so incredible. I've been getting to know her, and she is going to be in the ring against Davienne on Saturday. She's making her Mission Pro debut, and she hails from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I want to talk about that. I am so excited to welcome Sierra on a Mission.
Hello.
Hi, Sierra. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, we have so many. We have Thunder Rosa in the chat. We have Brian in the chat. We have some of our sponsors and supporters in the chat, and they want to get to know you.
All right.
Yeah. So you're heading to Mission Pro on Saturday. You get to see Texas for the first time.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm super excited. I don't know. It was definitely a wrestling bucket list goal of mine to go to Texas, wrestle in Texas. Honestly, never. It's cheesy, but never thought it would happen type deal. But no, I'm so excited. I'm really glad that I get this really cool opportunity to travel down and wrestle in Texas and wrestle for Mission Pro. I'm so excited for this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to have you. So Mission Pro has grown so much in the last year, and lots of people watch us from afar. And so what have you seen as you've been watching Mission Pro throughout the years, and it's on your bucket list? So when did that moment happen when you're this is on my bucket list?
I don't think there was a specific moment. I just, once Mission Pro started catching the waves with being more well known and such, I was well, damn, all these girls are going here, I want to do that too. And I've heard nothing but great positive things about Mission Pro, and it was just I'm gonna put this on my bucket list and maybe one day I'll do it. Very hopeful about it, and now it's happening. I'm super excited.
And so your opponent on Saturday is Davienne, and you both have not competed against each other. And I heard you were kind of being a super sleuth, and you watched her on a mission. So she was our guest on Tuesday, and she kind of was dropping the heat. She was like, okay, well, she said she was pretty much not going to be nice to you. Do you have a response to that?
I don't know, like you said, I'm from Wisconsin, and like I'm kind of sweet, kind of nice, but like I can be a real beast sometimes, honestly. But I'm ready. I'm ready for a fight. I was trained brawling style, so let's go, girl.
Okay. So like you guys have very like you've trained very differently, right? So like what are there like surprises? Is there anything different you're going to bring to the ring to face Davian that maybe she hasn't seen before or we haven't seen as like Mission Pro fans?
So I was originally trained by the Beer City Bruiser. He's a brawler, so that's how I was trained. I was trained in a brawling, hard-hitting style. It's definitely something that I've I don't know, grasped more onto. The more I've been wrestling and such. So that's definitely the type of style that I plan on bringing this Saturday.
Thunder Rosa is saying that she's excited to see you again.
Yes. I'm so excited to see you too. It's been forever. I guess like since the summer, but forever in general.
So talk about that. Like when was the last time you guys saw each other and where were you?
So the last time we saw each other was when AEW was in Chicago. I did extra work for AEW, but like until then, I haven't seen her in like years, honestly. She was one of my first, I wouldn't say first couple matches, but I was like 2 years in when I first met Thunder Rosa and got to wrestle her. And we wrestled each other, I believe it was like back to back in the same weekend, once up by me and then once in Chicago. So yeah, it was just that time, and then we went years without seeing each other, and then got to see each other again this past summer.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So so you had like your first two matches with her. What was that like? Because that was like, how can you contextualize a little bit? Because it was a few years ago.
Yeah. I was probably about 2 years in. I was like 16, 17 at the time, and literally like scared out of my mind.
That's so that's amazing.
Yeah. Because at the time when I first started training, it was me and one other girl in the whole state that wrestled. And so when I was, they fast tracked me because they were like, oh,
out of all of Wisconsin?
Yes, out of all of Wisconsin. It was just me and Stacy Shadows. And they're like, oh, okay, well, she can bump, so let's just get her the basics and get her out there. And so they fast tracked me. Like I trained once a month for the 4 months, and they were like, here's your first match with Stacy. Like, you'll do great. Like, come up with a name. Come with just like threw me into the wolves. I was 15. Like, so my first year was all with Stacy Shadows, and so I became very comfortable with working with her and only really like knew her. So Thunder Rosa was one of the first few girls other than Stacy that I wrestled, and I knew Thunder Rosa. She was like so good, and I was like terrified out of my mind because I was like so new and inexperienced, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what? So but no, the both matches went really well. The one we had in Chicago, our second one, I remember just being like super good. It was, I don't know, it was one of those matches where you felt yourself elevate in a way, not just like from what you do in the ring, but more for me with like at a confidence standpoint of like, damn, like she like pushed me and like showed me that like I can like handle this certain type of like limit. And so yeah, it was a good one.
Oh my gosh. So I got to know more because like I knew you started really younger than most wrestlers that start in the business and start training. Yeah. So when was the moment you like did you grow up watching wrestling? And like, did you know like at 14 or 15, I'm going to get in the ring and start training?
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
I didn't know much about wrestling. Like my parents watched it. It wasn't until I was like 11 years old that I really like noticed wrestling, really got into it. At the time, I only knew of, WWE. I didn't know of like independent wrestling and all of like the little promotions that are out there and all of that. So it was like maybe 13 13 years old, and my dad was like, "Hey, like I know you love wrestling, like there's this show like 10 minutes from our house, like I'll take you." And I was like, "What? There's wrestling like not on, the TV? Like what?" So he took me, and that was like my first experience with like the independent wrestling, and I loved it. I We went every month from then on. I started getting my friends into it. And at the time, I was like in middle school, and I played a bunch of sports. I did all the sports that I could. And I saw it as like another sport. And I was like, I want to try this. Like, I think I can do this. Like, I think I'm athletic enough. Like, I want to give this a shot. And I'd look online, like professional wrestling schools in Milwaukee, and like it would link me to like other promotions in Wisconsin, but nothing as like a training school. So I didn't really know where to go. I ended up going to another independent show near my house, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna ask around and like see if maybe they trade. And I asked, they had a merchandise lady, and I was like, hey, how do I get in contact with whoever runs this promotion? And she gave me their email, and I emailed them and was like, oh, I don't know if you guys do any like training, like I was interested, da 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 da. And they got back to me and said, okay, come down to our show. It was at like a Knights of Columbus. um, come early and help set up or whatever. It's like, okay. So like I filled in like my parents like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And they're like, okay. Like I guess like I was still like 14 or whatever, 15. They're just like, do you need us to drop you off? Like what's happening?
And your parents were okay with that at
Yeah,
14?
they were okay with it. Um Surprisingly. So I went down to the show and was introduced to the promoter, Frankie DeFalco, and he's like, all right, just like help set up the chairs. You obviously don't know how to like set up the ring yet, so just like help set up the chairs, and then I'm gonna have you be in charge of the merchandise for the night. Okay, like I didn't know anyone like except for him at the time because I was emailing him about like the training. And so I did like the merchandise or whatever, and that was that. And then he was like, that night, he's like, yeah, we do the training. Like, I'll need to talk to your parents. They'll have to sign you off, whatever. I think it was in like February. My parents like signed off for me to start training. They did all that, and then in March I started training, and it was always it was before every show. Um, and that's where the 4 months of training, one time a month, came in because he didn't have a school. It was just set up the ring, and then the 3 hours before the show, do as much as you can, get in as much as you can. That's what you got. So my first day of training, it was, the bump and hit the ropes. Okay. And I bumped, and they were like, I was like, what did I do wrong? They're like, no, you did that fine, do it again. And so they just the whole like 2 hours were just having me like pump and pump and pump and pump. And the one of the trainers, his name's JP, he like ran off into the back, and I was like, what is happening? It was like me and like two other guys, and I was like terrified out of my mind, like so shy and just like, what? And he came back with Frank and Beer City Bruiser Matt Winchester, and they were like, bump again. Had me pump again. And they're like, okay, good. And then Matt came in and started, was like, all right, teach me out of the ropes. And they like started like fast track me. Like they saw that I was like getting these like basics down kind of like fast. And they're like, we need you to learn how to wrestle because there's no one
Wow.
else. And we have this one other girl. And if you could get this down, you're in. It's like, okay. Like, just still always just terrified.
That's amazing at 14 for them to see that
Yeah.
much like potential and talent in you. I mean,
Yeah.
do you think like,
Yeah.
because you said you have an athletic background, do you think that, I mean, I feel like being an athlete, you need coordination.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that helped you kind of
Yeah.
know where everything is in your body in order to take a bump.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that really helped because I feel like if I don't know, I'm very much like a visual learner. So obviously they were like showing me beforehand like a bunch of times like how to do all this. I think that having the athletic background and, the way I like learned really helped.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, um, so you kind of learned a very like brawl focused style, right? Can you
Hmm.
talk about
Yes.
how like what you learned, how you learned it, and like
Hmm.
how it kind of was different once you started kind of going out of Wisconsin and traveling to different areas?
Yeah. So, um, my training, like this is gonna sound so bad. They would beat me up, but like not in like a bad way, but they'd have me like I
Put
would
you through
be
the ringer a little
like,
bit, you know?
yes,
Yeah.
oh, very much so. It was brutal. It was always brutal, but overall it really helped toughen me up in a way, and it got me used to how everyone else in Wisconsin works, and how Stacy Shadows worked because she was also trained by Fair City Bruiser, so she was trained the same way. But no, everything was very hard hitting. They didn't take it lightly with like me hitting hard or leg up in. They like wanted me to like bump hard, hit the ropes hard, hit just everything had to be like impactful, very intense, Um, so like going into that, it helped toughen me up, um, with that stuff. I didn't really carry forth that type of style when I first started because they were having me learn kind of basic moves just to give myself like a move set. Um, but going once I started going out more and wrestling new people, and traveling, I realized that like my style and how I was trained is very different from where other people like how they're trained and their style. um it when I first started experiencing that, it was kind of scary in a way because I was like, oh no, like, was I like trained wrong? Like, why are they doing like this like differently? Like they're like all that. But then especially now I've learned to like embrace it and like really love it. And um I don't know, I love having just like hard hitting intense matches, and I think that really helps overall with just making me different in a way, just having a different style. Yeah.
So how was it? So like you were wrestling like in high school. Like
Hmm.
how did you like did your parents go on the road with you? Like how did you just do like the core Wisconsin area and like what you can go by where you can go by car and like your parents tagged along? Like
Yeah.
how did you do that as someone so young in the business?
So my first year of wrestling, I stayed in Wisconsin and I stayed with the promotion that I started at, Brew City Wrestling. Um, they would run a bunch of shows in the summer, so like a bunch of fair shows. So I would do that. Very local, just with them. My first like outside booking was a promotion in Minnesota, and I traveled with my trainer. I traveled with Stacy Shadows, and for a lot of my first outside of Brew City uh, shows were I traveled with my trainer, or I traveled with Stacy, or um, around past a year that I started. Um, they started having like a camp with like an actual building, so they had more students. So like I'd go with a group of the students. Um, but yeah, my parents would tag along. I didn't really branch out into like farther areas, like longer drives to like 2, 3 years in. And then, maybe I'd need my dad to tag along with me and take me for the ride because I was the only one that was like booked. And was like 16, not gonna drive like 4 hours by myself, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, no, I don't even like drive by myself sometimes now. But yeah, no, a lot of the firsts were like with my trainer, and then I made a lot of friends with all the new other people coming in and training. So we'd go in like car loads and do that, and then my dad would take me. My dad still takes me to shows because he loves traveling with me. If I have like a really far one and no one else is with me, we'll be like, Dad, let's go, and we'll tag along. We'll make a full day out of it. So
Aww,
yeah,
that's so sweet. Do you have like any fun like road stories from being on the road, like with your dad and family, and or even like recently?
oh, I all of the times that like me and my dad have traveled together have been actually like just straightforward, and like nothing's bad has happened. It's just been like A to B, get it
Yeah.
through. So I can't like think of any.
Do you have like your playlist and your snacks that you're like, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My mom. So a lot over the summer, I went to Kentucky for OVW, and the times that I would go with my dad, my mom would like pack us a bunch of like snacks and stuff. So like the morning we wake up, she'd be like in the kitchen like packing stuff. But yeah, so we'd have like our road snacks, and he he listens to the radio. I don't know. Sometimes I'll just like either go back to sleep, take a nap, or we'll just talk. I don't know. I think I lost connection. No. Oh. Oh.
Hi, sorry, I have to go
Oh,
on
it's
my
okay.
phone now.
Oh, it's okay. I was like, oh no, I'm left alone out here. Everyone.
Sorry about that, everyone. I
It's okay.
lost my feed here, my internet. So we're doing it on my phone.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, so you were talking about like your snack. You can hear me okay, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you were talking about like your snacks and your road trip with your dad. Like, what's your go-to? Your mom, I think you were saying your mom preps that for you.
Yeah, yeah. No, every time it's different. I feel like overpack sometimes because sometimes at the end of the trip we'll like have like so much like leftovers, like, but she keeps it like really healthy with just like the snack packs that you get with like the nuts and the cheese or whatever. She'll pack like a bunch of fruit. She's always got to throw in something like special. Like one time she made guacamole, so that was definitely eaten first. But no, she kind of goes all out on those sometimes. Just like really appreciate it because I don't gotta like spend money at like a gas station for like a granola bar or something. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, do you have any like guilty pleasure snacks where you're like, I really shouldn't be eating this on the road, but I'm gonna do it anyway?
Oh my God, everything. Like I'm such a foodie. I don't know. It's so hard on the weekends to like stay like relatively decently healthy. Um, but I don't know, any chocolate, any sweets, like that's like my guilty pleasure go to.
Okay, so you'll learn as you come to Mission Pro that the
Mhm.
day before a show we're very good. We eat
Yes.
our healthy chicken and our like rice
Yep.
and we're very healthy. And then
Yes.
after the show, it's fair game.
Hell yeah. No, that's me. I always try like get the day before, like the week before, like being very like conscious of what I'm eating, healthy, like water, like after it's like Taco Bell, McDonald's, go get a slushie from 7-Eleven, like just awfully pig out sometimes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, did you see JP Harlow is Mission Pro's he's amazing. He does all of our matches,
Mhm.
all the guys matches, and
Yeah.
he loves Taco Bell.
Ooh.
So in our December show, there
Mhm.
was definitely some rivalry happening and a discussion between Taco Bell and tacos and real Mexican style tacos. So there definitely was some heat
Ooh.
regarding that.
That's funny.
So you'll definitely meet Jeff and
Yeah.
JP Harlow. You'll meet him, and
Yeah.
there might be some bonding over Taco Bell, maybe.
Oh yes, I'm ready. Let's go.
So how else are you? So you just have such an incredible story. And I saw in Bobby in the chat. Again, I'm scrolling on my phone. I apologize. So
It's
I'm
okay.
trying to catch up with comments here. So
It's
Bobby
okay.
mentioned that he loves your matches at OVW. So can you talk a little bit about OVW, and because that's such an integral part of like Ohio, and just like and Valley Wrestling is very well known and has been like a kind of a feeder school for so much talent.
Yes. Like me and getting the opportunity to go to OVW kind of it came out of nowhere. I was at a show, and I was scheduled to wrestle Haley J, and her mom, Amazing Maria, was there. And I've been on a couple shows with Maria in the past, so we've known each other. We said hi, and she's like, "Hey, like I want you to come down to OVW. Like I'm helping run their women's division. Like I want you to come down." And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like definitely." Like it was OVW was also one of those like list of promotions and places I wanted to like work for, and like we'll see if it happens type deal. So it's okay. Got all the, things situated, got a date, went down there, had my first match, and I'd say it went pretty well. And they're like, "Oh, when can you come back?" I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, yeah, I can come back like, this time." Cause it was, they do their TV tapings on like Thursday. At the time, like I was in school and like I work part-time. So like, okay, like I'll get back to you in like a week. Let me like try to like schedule it in because it's like during the week and whatever. And so it came back, and next thing you know, I was like going back every week. And by August, they had me in like the title picture, and it's like, what? So like, I think August I did five shows with them, and August was one of my busiest months I've had in wrestling ever, because I was doing OVW on Thursdays and then wrestling still Friday, Saturday. And then I had a lot of Sunday shows in August, which was peculiar because there's hardly ever any Sunday shows. But so it was just a busy schedule. And then at the end of August at one of their Saturday night specials, I won the women's title. And I had ran with that through fall, and then recently at their last Saturday night special lost the title. But OVW has been like one of the biggest learning experiences I've had in my wrestling career, because they're TV, so I had to learn TV style, like here's your cameras and da da da.
It's very different. A lot of people,
Yes.
and like, Mission Pro does have like, we obviously stream on Title Match. And so you don't learn how to wrestle for TV right away. Just in general. So.
Yeah. Because when I was like training, my trainer, he was in Ring of Honor, and he'd always kind of like have us do our camp matches and be like, okay, here's, the hard camera, like trying to like work us to TV. And like, it's very different than if you're in a camp match, and then when you're really doing like something like that. And I've like had experience with doing like the pay-per-views for like Shimmer or like Fight TV pay-per-views, but it's like turned up a little bit more when it's like a televised show, with just like the lighting and the production of it and all that. So it was definitely something that was a little difficult to like learn to at first. Like there were a few weeks I'd come in like frustrated, like trying to like feeling like I wasn't doing like well enough, or I wasn't doing what the producers and my agents wanted me to do. And it was I always say it was one of the biggest learning blocks that I've come across in my wrestling career, but definitely getting more comfortable and used to it. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, it's really good to kind of come to terms with that and know that it's like something you have to, I mean, nowadays it's we stream wrestling on every type of platform. So
Mhm.
learning how to do it
Yeah.
in the right way and know how to work those cameras and
Mhm.
those angles and
Mhm.
work with your opponent, like that's all
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah.
So that's really great that like you were like, all right, this is something I need to focus on. So then you could be prepared to really do anything.
Yeah.
So I have some
Yeah.
questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Lots of people are wondering who your dream opponent is at Mission Pro Wrestling. If you have anyone else, if
Ooh.
you have eyes on anyone else.
Yeah. So I had a really good match with Holidead at Shimmer in October, and I after that match, I like told my boyfriend like, "Oh, I want to work her again. Like, I want to wrestle her again. Like, that was good. Like, I know we could have even better." So Holidead is definitely probably the top on my list, and she's champion. So let's go.
All right. Well, she did,
I'm calling her out. I'm calling her out.
You're calling her out. She did present an
Let's go.
open challenge. So,
Ooh.
lots of people have been trying to make that gold happen. So also, do you have a dream opponent for a potential tag team partner?
Ooh.
Because we have the Renegade
team.
Twins
Yeah.
here at Mission Pro Wrestling, and lots of people want to kind of put their heads together and kind of try to get that gold from the Renegade Twins.
Yeah. Ooh. So the first person that came to mind, um, we have very different like contrasting styles, but I feel like me and Sky Blue would make a good team. Her and I have a very we have a past with each other. I was like her first 5 matches in wrestling. And we definitely always just end up bumping into each other and having matches. But I think that I think I'd like to tag with Sky Blue at Mission Pro. I think that would
Okay,
be
Sky
fun. I
Blue
think that'd be
is a
different.
favorite here at Mission
Yeah.
Pro. And definitely, I could totally see that.
Mhm.
That would be amazing. So Mind Runner, one of our sponsors as well, says Sierra versus Maddie Brankowski would be great.
Ooh. Yes. No, I'm like I just want to wrestle everyone. That's kind of like my mindset now with like wrestling. Like I want to wrestle everyone. I want to like travel everywhere. I want to like do as much as I can. Like trying not to be so hard on myself and stress out about, the making it of it. Because I realized that, I would do that. I would be like extra hard on myself and it would kind of almost ruin wrestling for me and not make it so much fun. So at this point, like, I don't know, I just want to wrestle everyone. Like I'm game for it all.
That's amazing. Everyone's putting suggestions in the chat. Sierra versus La Rosa Negra would be killer too. That would be amazing. Holiday is awesome. That is also true. Front Row says Sierra and Genocide as a team would be really fun.
Oh, I didn't think of that one. Yes, that one too.
Yeah. So you're saying that like everything is that you are going full steam ahead in 2022. So Mission Pro Wrestling is on your list and you're going to check off that bucket list item on Saturday. What other bucket list items do you have for 2022?
One of the bigger ones is just with traveling more, hitting new states, new promotions, new opponents. That's one of like I think that's just like a main and general goal. Like even if I can just wrestle in a new state, even if it's for a random promotion, I'm still gonna like count that as a win. But I haven't been to the East Coast yet, so that's I think number one on the list to wrestle somewhere on the East Coast.
Okay. All right. There's some there's plenty to choose from on the East Coast.
Yes.
So you can definitely make a road trip, do like an East Coast tour. Yeah, Mind Runner says, yes, don't stress, just do the work. And as Dustin Rhodes says, keep stepping. So Mind Runner is also asking, what would be one thing that you would want new fans to take away from getting to know your character?
Like, who
Ooh.
is Sierra? Who are you to Mission Pro fans?
Okay, so it took just a little like back up here. That question of like who you are has taken me forever to figure out. And I feel like it only was in the past couple months that I started to figure out myself, because I feel like at the time they'd be like, "Oh, who are you? Who's your character?" And I would like panic and be like, "Oh God, I really like don't know. I'm just me. I'm just like I'm being me. Like I don't have a character." And like I felt like that was always like the wrong answer, because people would, you'd ask somebody else and they'd give you like an elaborate, background story and whatever, and I always felt like my answer was wrong. And like I learned that I wasn't wrong in saying that like I'm me, and then I had to figure out who I was. And who I am is I'm Sierra, and I love to fight, and I have the brawler style wrestling. I got blue eyes and thick thighs, and yeah, I'm kind of basing off my stuff with my love for like lifting. So I have like call myself like strong girl Ross sometimes. So I definitely base me and my character and my work off of you know me personally, and like the one of the outside things I love to do, and with like lifting and all of that stuff. So
That's amazing. I mean, it's interesting as different like wrestling personalities, how like finding yourself in the ring and finding how you express yourself is part of that process. Not just like not just like what type of moves you can do and you're comfortable with, but like really finding your core of who you are. And that's part of that.
Yes.
Yeah, they're loving it.
Oh, good.
They're loving it. The chat. I don't know if you can see all the chat. Oh, Mindrunner is recommending Sierra versus Masha Slamovich. That would be a brawl. That would be a full-out brawl.
I wrestled her in I wrestled her over the summer in a show that was run in Wisconsin. And it was literally like a backyard show. Somebody like rented out, I would say like rented out, but like bought the show from a promotion, because they like were gonna throw this like big party or whatever. And so it was next to a house in the middle of a field. There was like farm kittens running everywhere. There was like chickens. Like our locker room was this like guy's shed. I wouldn't even know what to say or like describe of it, but her and I wrestled there, and we had a good little match. And she was also another one that I'm like, oh, we could have so much better if we like wrestle each other like a second time. It was like 80 degrees outside. We were both exhausted.
Oh my
we were both really confused on where we were.
You're like, what state am I in?
Yeah, we're like, okay, let's just get this done with. Like, let's go. So I feel like if we had a more like a bigger setting per se, we could put out something really good.
Okay. Wow. I mean, yeah, we have to get you in a more controlled setting, less farm cats. And
yes, they were running like in the ring sometimes. So you'd be like laying there like solid, like, oh my God, there's a kitten in the ring. Like, oh, I want to hold it but get it out.
You should have made it part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the main event, my boyfriend wrestled against Rhino on that show.
Oh my God.
They had a kitten involved. It was really cute. So.
Aww. So a very important question in the chat. Are you a Green Bay Cheesehead?
So I actually went to my very first Green Bay Packers event like 2 months ago. Otherwise, like I don't know, I said earlier, like I'm not really like into the sports. I'll like watch them, but I'm not like a diehard Packers Brewers fan type deal, which like seems so wrong of me because I'm from Wisconsin. But no, I went to my first Packers game like 2 months ago. So
what?
What? See, that's hard for me to
Yeah.
believe that like you're
Yeah.
there, you're in the city with the
Yeah.
Brewers, the
Yeah.
Packers, like you gotta embrace it.
Yeah.
So do you at
Not
least
me.
embrace the cheese curds?
Oh yes. Yeah. No, I'll embrace the dairy.
Can you bring some? Can you bring some for the Mission Pro
Ooh.
ladies?
Ooh. See, that'll be tough because I'd want to bring like good stuff, good cheese curds. So that might be, I'm gonna have to look into that tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
How do you pick out the best ones for people from other parts of the country that don't know?
So, like I was always told that like the best cheese curds they have when you eat them, they squeak in your mouth. Like that's how you know they're like good. There's so many different like flavors, so I guess it's just like a preference, but I don't know. I don't I haven't eaten enough cheese curds. Wow, surprising. To like have like a specific, brand or type or whatever, but like a good cheese curd when we have it.
I know I had fried cheese curds when I was there,
Mm-hmm.
and that just
Yeah.
like changed the whole game. Like you can get them
Yeah.
plain, but once they're fried,
No, we put them on everything.
it's your life has changed forever.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, we have so many recommendations on who you need to face. It could go on
Wow.
all night.
Yeah.
But I know you're facing Davian. You're getting ready for Saturday. You're gonna experience Texas for the first time. We're so excited to have you.
No, I'm so excited. It's gonna be a good weekend. I'm so
It's gonna be a
excited.
great weekend. So I want to ask you a few other fun questions. Your really quick questions, like
Yes.
whatever is the first thing that comes into your head. Just let us know.
Okay. Okay.
Do you prefer sweet or savory snacks?
Savory.
Savory. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have what's your go-to savory?
When I'm craving a savory snack, I normally crave like just any potato chip, any flavor. Like it's always like chips. I need chips. Like, give me chips. Something, any kind, just chips.
I love it. Do you prefer breakfast or dinner?
Dinner. Not really a breakfast gal.
Okay. Is there something like what is the craziest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh gosh, a few came to mind. One time I was at a state fair and they had those like in the little box, like dried flavored crickets that one of my friends bought, and he didn't want to try it alone, so I tried it. There was really no taste to it. It was more just disturbing of the thought of what I was eating. um, I went on I went on a cruise like 3 years ago, and they based some of the cuisine off of like where we were at. I knew I had some interesting. I don't remember like specifics, but I remember trying some interesting courses there. But the crickets are definitely probably number one on the weirdest thing I've eaten.
Yeah, the fairs, the county fairs and stuff, you can find so many fun things
Yes.
there to try.
Yes.
So if you could own any pet, what would it be? Any animal?
Any animal? I would want to domesticate a tiger and just have a big house cat. So I love cats. I have one of my own. His name is Tot. But if I could domesticate a tiger and just have him in my room all the time, that'd be great. That'd be the goal.
All right.
That'd be the dream pet.
You would definitely have to have a cat in the ring.
Yes. Yes, right.
That would cause some trouble.
Right.
What is your like binge-worthy show right now?
Ooh. Me and my boyfriend are watching I believe it's What We Do in the Shadows. It's on Hulu. It's like the little vampire comedy series.
Okay.
I don't know. He introduced it to me. It was one of those like you want to watch this? I was like, sure. Like, I don't know. He's like, there's only like 3 seasons out of it, and he saw the first 2, so he had to like catch me up on all of it. So we just started the 3rd season, but it's really the only thing like that I guess I'm like binge watching. Otherwise, I just have like Food Network on my TV 24/7.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
If you could choose any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, probably flying. I think that'd be fun, and it would save on travel for wrestling.
You'll save on gasoline and flights and
Yes.
all that.
Yes, right. Just strap up my suitcase. Let's go.
Well, that's amazing. I'm so excited that Mission Pro fans could get to know you a little bit tonight. I'm excited to meet you in person on
Yes.
Saturday. And yeah, everyone go follow Sierra. Where can people follow you? And then also, can they purchase merch?
Yes. So you can find me on Twitter at @RealSierra_. Instagram is at @ProWrestling_Sierra. And then Facebook is Pro Wrestling Sierra. If you DM me about merch, I normally don't do, at least for a bit, like shipping out merch, because I had a very weird scarring experience that kind of stopped me from shipping out merch. But my merchandise table is always open, and I would love to meet everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, well, everyone go follow Sierra. And because Mission Pro fans love to purchase merchandise. So
yes, I've heard.
Oh yeah, no, it is like full on, like it is a merchandise mania over there during intermission and after the show. Mindrunner says he's a new fan.
Oh, yay!
And he followed you. So everyone go follow Sierra.
Yay!
Go catch her against Davienne on Saturday at MPW Crazy Train. She's making her debut. We can't wait. Thank you so much for joining us again for On a Mission.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining On a Mission. Apologize for all the little technical difficulties. Again, if you guys have not purchased tickets for Crazy Train, go to Title Match or go to missionprowrestling.net, and then you can also stream it on Title Match Network if you're not able to go to Conroe, Texas this weekend. I'm so excited to see the ladies in the ring again. It's going to be an incredible, incredible show. Again, thank you all so much for supporting Mission Pro Wrestling, for watching On a Mission, for being a sponsor. Again, we have some incredible sponsors. Jack Soaps, Jeremy Weller, Josh Thompson, Brandon Lattimore, MJF Scarf, always supporting. Mindrunner, again, also supporting our wrestlers and sponsoring them. We could not do what we do without you. So we appreciate you. We're going to have some incredible content coming out this weekend. We are going to do a special pre-show on Saturday. So get ready. Watch for our YouTube streams and all on across our social media, because that's when we're going to go live. We might have some special guests, so you don't want to miss that. And again, tune in 7:30 p.m. live on Saturday for Crazy Train on Title Match Network. We have so much happening. Remember, our next show is March 5th in Conroe. We'll be back at Southern Star Brewery, and sponsorships are open. So you can email missionprowrestling@gmail.com and learn all about our tiers. If you're already a sponsor, you can already renew. Or if you're interested and you're a new sponsor, you can go ahead and learn all about that. Yeah, I am so excited to see the turnbuckle pads, to see the skirt apron, where all of our sponsors are going to be that are sponsoring those items. It's going to be great. It's going to be an amazing show. Thank you, Sierra and Davienne, for being our guests on a Mission this week. And we can't wait to do the recap show and talk about all the action from Saturday next Tuesday with potentially some more special guests. You don't want to miss it. And again, if you want to follow me on all social platforms, I'm Emily May Heller. And also follow Mission Pro Wrestling on all social platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss what's going to happen in 2022. Thank you all so much, and have an amazing, amazing night.